Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new series called Walking and Talking with JACKO. I thought of this series idea because I thought, what do I love doing? I love talking about Tottenham, I love talking about sport and connecting with you guys. So I thought it'd be a fun daily thing potentially where I just come out every day, have a walk, whether I'm at university, whether I'm here, talk about Spurs, talk about what's happening in the football world and catch up with you guys. So yeah, thought I'd give it a go. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, big news yesterday, as we all know, Tottenham played Brighton and we ran out 4-2 losers at the Amex Stadium. Very disappointed, as I really believed that Tottenham were potentially in a title race. Turns out that's not the case. That doesn't look to be the case. We just don't quite have the squad at the minute. We don't quite have all our players available. We've got Mickey van der Ven, James Maddison injured. We've got Romero out for 4 to 5 weeks now. And our just second string team isn't quite good enough, if we're being brutally honest, which is obviously disappointing. But we've got to look at the long-term picture. This Tottenham side, no one expected to be anywhere near how well we're performing and where we are in the table. Arsenal as well lost 2-0 to West Ham yesterday, which would have been a massive result. As if Spurs won, we would have been 1 point behind them, but we still stay 4 points behind them, 6 points behind leaders Liverpool, and it also means West Ham closed the gap to only 3 points behind us, which, if we're being honest, is not ideal. We don't want West Ham being near us, but they're playing good football. Paqueta in the first 13 minutes was fantastic. Jared Bowen and Kudus have been a revelation for them this season, so credit to them. They're playing good football. But sticking to Spurs, it just didn't fall for us yesterday. First 10 minutes we created lots of opportunities like we always do, but then as the game wore on, after the 20th minute, you always felt like Brighton could have scored as many goals as they wanted. Could have been a cricket score, honestly, without Vicario, who is sensational as he has been the whole season. He was just phenomenal. Made a fantastic double save against with Danny Welbeck, just missing. And then just always just a prominent figure for us. In my opinion, probably been our best player this season. And Spurs really just lacked serious end product, like Richarlison trailing offside, always looking at danger. Some may argue differently, but in my opinion, definitely getting in good opportunities. But it just didn't fall for him. He wasn't holding his line. When Kulusevski was looking to play him in, it didn't quite have that fluidity that we want to see with Richarlison. But nonetheless, he's coming into his form. He's improving each game, which is a bit of a setback from yesterday, but on to the next game. I think we've got to stick with him as our number 9 this season. In my opinion, I'd rather see us invest heavily in a centre half and maybe another box-to-box midfielder, maybe that number 8 creative role, which I felt like, as good as Sarri is off the ball, I felt like his passing yesterday didn't really offer enough. I felt like we didn't really get the forwards through as much as we would have liked. I would have liked to seen Brennan Johnson test their left-back Igor yesterday more, as I felt like he's someone we really could have exploited, which ended up seeing Estepinian coming on at half-time, and Estepinian scored an absolute weldy of a goal, as we all know. What a strike that was. But yeah, Tottenham, it seems to be a common theme at the minute. When the going gets tough, we're kind of crumbling under pressure a bit. I felt like maybe I'm doing us a bit of a disservice because we massively come back in the final 20 minutes. We could have actually scored 4 goals, which is absurd to say out loud. We're creating lots of opportunities. Ben Davies scored a opening goal for Alejo Valise, who a lot of Tottenham fans seem to be impressed with, especially after last night. For me, I'm more in the camp of he needs a bit more time. He's still very raw. He scored a goal, which is great for his confidence and great for us, but I think there's a long way to go. But then the rest of the team, a lot of people online are criticising Højbjerg, saying that they thought it was mainly his fault really for a lot of the goals. In my opinion, I think Højbjerg was one of the Tottenham's strongest players yesterday. Yes, he's not that player who's going to be in the middle of the lines, play those groundbreaking passes, but off the ball, he was winning a lot of the balls high up. I thought he was a real presence in the midfield, and if it wasn't for him, they could have broke through us even more. So for me, I don't think Højbjerg should be scapegoated too much. I would like to see someone in that 6 role though, who wants to get on the ball, be in that pocket of space, who can find those balls in behind, who can play those intricate passes. But that's not his game. And from a defensive point of view, I thought he was more than adequate. But as a whole, definitely wasn't Kulusevski's best game. Son couldn't beat a man last night. He just didn't have that confidence that we've seen this season. Brennan Johnson, he hasn't lived up to his 50 million price tag, especially when it looked like he was through on goal and he just didn't trap that ball underneath his feet and drive into the box like we would expect Brennan Johnson to do, especially with his pace. But yeah, it's just a big setback, if we're being honest. It's kind of a bit disappointing. We want to stay at the top of the table. We want to be competing with the best. But we have to remember it's a process. And we've had some fantastic results this year. We are playing great football. And we, in the final 20 minutes, showed that we are going to bounce back. We're not going to give up. And that's what this Ange Postecoglou side stands for. And that's why I'm still proud to be a Spurs fan. And I'll come up this morning, I think, no, we go again. We go Sunday, New Year's Eve. We play Bournemouth, who are absolutely high-flying at the minute. I think they're 4 games unbeaten. Some of their players have been... Dominic Solanke has been on red-hot form. Who else have been playing well for them? Christie in the midfield, I think, is a very good player. And Alex Scott, who's a lifelong Tottenham Hotspur fan, had a fantastic game against Fulham, which I watched the full 90 minutes. So I think they're going to be a real tricky team to beat, but they're going to come at us. And we know when teams come at us, like Brighton did, they sometimes get luck. But if Tottenham play the football with the fluidity that we've seen this season, we should break through them and we should see plenty of goals. It's going to be a cracking of a game. I'm going to be there with a vlog as normal, but I'm definitely looking forward to that one. If we talk about the broader Premier League at the minute, we talk about Manchester City, who ended up winning with a Phil Foden masterclass against Everton, 3-1 winners. And Everton have been really strong, and Manchester City just show they go 1-0 down, they keep their cool, and their mentality is they just know they're going to be in a title race each year, year out. A lot of people are tipping Arsenal and Liverpool for the title, but for me, you just can't look past Manchester City. They are so strong. Their squad depth is phenomenal. They've got 2 players in every position. Jack Grealish looked really strong against Everton as well. I was very impressed by him. And Julian Alvarez. And when they get Erling Haaland back and De Bruyne, I really feel like that could be the end of this year's title race. But we will see. Liverpool are flying at the minute. Arsenal are not far behind. Tottenham, are we in with a small 10% chance? After losing quite comfortably to Brighton with all these injuries, without significant investment, I can see us getting in the top 4, but being in the title conversation might be just that step too far. But we can hope as Spurs fans. Let's talk about a bit of transfer news. Jean-Claire Todibo continuously linked with Tottenham. Some people saying that they can see a deal being done. I think Ben Jacobs of Sky Sports or The Athletic reported that it's going to be difficult to be done, but we know with Tottenham, deals are always difficult to be done. So I'm not reading too much into it. I'm hoping that we're going to get some positive news on that. Conor Gallagher links always surfacing, always coming back. £50 million for Conor Gallagher. He's a fantastic player. His work rate off the ball is brilliant. But should we be spending £50 million on a player that... Is he up to the standard? Is he that passing player, someone who can break through the lines, someone who's going to drive with the ball that we need? I think he might be. I'm a huge Conor Gallagher fan, but I think a lot of people are pessimistic about this signing. So let me know in the comments who you'd like to see being brought in. And yeah, but I'm just going to do a small one today. It's the first video, really. I'm holding this with my phone. It might not be the best quality, but I thought, why not? Let me bring you a video of me just giving my match reaction thoughts about the game yesterday, about the general Premier League. Please let me know what you'd like to see on these walks. Videos are inspired really by the Spurs talk show. He takes his dog, bugs him alone on a walk every day. And I'm not doing exactly the same, but I'm doing something very similar with walking and talking with JACKO. So let me know what you think. Thanks, please hit like and subscribe, and let me know if you'd like to see more of these. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Spurs.